There's a rumor for Digital Foundry Patreon notes or a video where some games are being said to run at 864p to achieve 60 frames on the PS5 Pro.
Alrighty, The Last of Us Part 2, 1440p internal resolution at 60 frames per second in this PS5 Pro mode, same as the PS5 Performance mode, with improved image quality due to PSSR.
What's the point, then? What?
Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart. Between 1440p and 1800p internal resolution, roughly the PS5 quality mode at 40 frames per second at 60 frames per second in this PS5 Pro mode with the same settings as the PS5 Performance mode and using PSSR to bring it up to 4K.
So what do you make of that? Is that kind of shit?
Sometimes maybe good, sometimes maybe shit.
So The Last of Us Part 2 one is a bit more concerning because the fact that a PS4 game can't hit 4K at 60 frames per second on the system is really bad.
I know you wish things were different, but they ain't.
So, there it's saying, DLSS is greater than PSSR and FSR, which is AMD's. This is AMD hardware, the PlayStation, and the Xbox is too. And some games have utilized FSR already on the PS5 and the Xbox Series consoles. Even the Series S can use FSR. So I don't know why they didn't just roll out AI upscaling to the existing customers. Yeah, the stuff with Last of Us is bad. The stuff with Ratchet and Clank, it's not as bad, but again, this is a game that when it hit PC, people were able to, if I'm not mistaken, I need to go back and rewatch the Digital Foundry video, but back when it came out, I think the 3070 and the 3080 were tested. And I think it was doing better there on PC hardware.
Well, I think the Alan Wake 2 is the even worse part.
Yes, very bad.
We have a bunch more here.
I need answers.
Alan Wake 2, two modes shown at 864p at 60 frames per second and 1260p at 30 frames per second, which is the same as the base PS5 modes. And they presume it's using PSSR and not the FSR in the base PS5. The 60 frames per second clip has SSR, but I assume that's PSSR and they forgot the P. But the 30 frames per second clip could have RT.
Well, there it is. FPS 47.
Yeah. And sub 900p, that's abysmal. I mean, the fact that, the sixth generation of consoles was going as long as it was, and people were complaining about 720p gaming. And here you have the mid-gen upgrade on an 8th generation console, and it's not even at 1080 for it's not even at 1080 60. This is bad. I think that I think one of the big problems, and I think we're going to see this, is that the metrics for the PS4 Pro, I believe it was only 14% of the total owners of PlayStation 4s were PS4 owners. I'm sorry, PS4 Pro owners. If I'm not mistaken, fact check me on that. Is what the metric that they came out with. And I think Sony's kind of looking at this console going like, this is a niche product, and the ponies that are most hardcore fan base will go out and buy this. And I think developers probably are afraid of developing for yet another SKU, because as we just talked about a few minutes ago, what the fuck's coming out on the last gen consoles?
I don't know why I bought a PS5 with no games to buy.
Jedi Survivor. So they've got Xbox One, PS4. I don't even know if they're still supporting or optimizing for One X and PS4 Pro. I mean, you can't even buy either system anymore. I mean, really, you can't go to a store unless you're going to a GameStop or a mom and pop game store or like a local marketplace. You can't buy a new PS4 Pro anywhere right now, or an Xbox One X new anywhere right now. Or I mean, maybe you might find a reseller on Amazon, but still, that's 4 SKUs on the old gen that they have to develop for. And now they have 3 SKUs. The PS5 Pro adds a 4th SKU. So now they have 8 SKUs, 9 if you want to count the potential Switch ports, and 10 for PC. This is just going to piss developers off. So I don't think that they're going to take the time to optimize for this one SKU that they know is going to be a niche product. And already with the response to the PS5 Pro that you're seeing on like look at the amount of downvotes on that reveal trailer now. It's massive. People don't want this. And I think you're just going to see developers going like, well, we're just going to crank up. We're not even going to take the time to optimize, because what's in it for them other than Sony to resell the games that they've already released that, people aren't really gravitating towards, like for
$700 USD.